Well, good evening to everyone. I'm Bob Reed, President of First Union National Bank here in Pennsylvania and Delaware, and it's my pleasure to welcome you to this wonderful event tonight. At First Union, we have long believed that a strong Chamber of Commerce is really critical to the survival of all communities in this country, and we have always been a long supporter of chambers in our company. And the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce, with its emphasis on helping businesses of all sizes, frankly, is truly one of the region's most important organizations. That's why we support chamber events throughout the year. That's why we have been very supportive of this event, and we certainly hope that you've enjoyed the reception earlier tonight. Tonight we honor Fred DeBona, which I'm sure all of you know is President and CEO of Independence Blue Cross. For years, Fred has played a leading role in the Philadelphia business community and, frankly, the community at large. The award Fred is receiving tonight touches on everything great leaders should be doing. It stresses achievement in managing a company for bottom-line success as well as community involvement. It also measures achievement in managing one's personal involvement in civic-related activities as well as humanitarian causes. Fred DeBona is clearly worthy of this award, a very worthy recipient, and I'm not sure if I see Fred right now, but Fred, congratulations on this award, and I'd like to give you just a real quick round of applause right now. At this time, I'd like to turn the program over to Charlie Peasy, President of the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce. And again, many thanks for being here tonight, and we certainly hope you enjoy this event. Charlie?
Charlie, hurry up, bring me some more sand.
Hey, Nick, I thought you were going to bring the water.
No, look, we got to hurry up. We should have started this sculpture earlier.
Well, you know, you're always late.
Oh, well. Well, put a little bit more on the nose.
No. Actually, Nick, I think you put too much on this Nazola.
Well, who do you think I am, Dr. Newman? What do you think? Is that Fred DeBona or what?
Thanks, Bob Reed, and thanks to all of you for coming this evening. This is a very important night for us as we honor one of our own. And you know, it's really a pleasure and honor for me because my chairman is a predecessor of mine, and his predecessor is our honoree this evening. And so that's why it's so very important. This event couldn't have happened without the help of Chris Cashman from IBC, Lynn Tate, Antonia Quagliaro from the Chamber, Fred Stein, the Creative Group, and Scott Merkin. Well, you know, the identification of Fred DeBona is mapped all over this city, this region, this state. And he also serves on some great corporate boards in this city. Fred, we have those donut holes for you tonight. Tasty Cake wanted me to make sure you had them because we know you had some questions about those donut holes and where they come from.
How they make them.
Yeah, how they make the donut holes. We also have, now, you know, Nick's stock has skyrocketed this week, and Fred, I know you say he doesn't go for water, but tonight he brought water for you because you also serve on Philadelphia Suburban's board.
Fred has many healthcare boards also. Eclipse Corporation, which was a startup company just a couple of years ago by another one of our board members at Philadelphia Suburban, now the second largest software developer for hospitals. And also the Magellan Board, which is one of the for-profit companies that Blue Cross has invested in. And of course, one of the largest corporations in the country, let alone just our region, is lighting up the lights tonight for Fred DeBona. So when you're going back after the dinner tonight, you'll look up at the Pico building and see Fred's name up in lights. Thanks to Ken Lawrence and Pico.
Now let me give you some facts about Fred's career. And I'm not going to start because, you know, Fred has a long career, but let me just tell you what Fred has been able to accomplish at Independence Blue Cross. All right, quiet up there. Since joining in 1990, Fred has spearheaded innovations in fiscal management, product development, wellness programs, preventive care, and customer service. He was recognized for these qualities by being named chairman of the entire Blue Cross Association of America. And then, since 1990, membership has increased at Blue Cross from 2 million people to nearly 4.5 million. Revenues have risen from $1.5 billion to $8 billion, and reserves have more than doubled. And there's also what he's been able to accomplish for the kids. Through the establishment of the Caring Foundation, Fred has been able to, and Blue Cross has been able to help 80,000 kids with health insurance. He's been an innovator with public education. He started and chaired blocks for the Catholic schools, and when Fred chaired the United Way, it was its biggest year ever. And finally, because of all this, Fred has never forgotten his roots, and he's chairing our membership campaign this year.
Tonight is more about Fred DeBona, the person, however, than Fred DeBona, the business person. In 50 short years, Fred has had a very, very distinguished career, and tonight he is recognized as the leading business person in the city of Philadelphia and the region. He had public service at the port. He revigorated the chamber in the early 80s. He built a startup company into one of the largest healthcare companies in the country. He's been honored or has aided almost every civic organization in this city and region. He's politically active, a player in Washington, Harrisburg, and Philadelphia. He's basically done it all. However, that's not the real side of Fred that I think we want to talk about tonight. It's Fred the person who enjoys life, Fred the person who basically enjoys helping others as much as himself. And he's touched many of the people in this room. Myself included. I would still be a business person in central Pennsylvania had Fred not made some timely calls to suggest that I might want to be interested in the chamber job in the mid-'80s. But the one thing that Fred adores the most is his family. And everything in his life revolves around his family. And the one person that I'd like to acknowledge now that he admires the most and loves the most is Sylvia DeBona. Sylvia, could you stand up?
In the back of the room.
We thought tonight, as we present Fred the award, it would only be fitting if we'd share that with his two loving children. Christine, who is a co-ed at Lehigh, taking engineering, and his son Fred at Villanova, taking a business career. And we'd like to ask Fred and Christine to come up and help us present Fred his award. Yeah, I'm going to ask everyone to please be quiet just for one more minute so we can have the ceremony.
Let's practice good manners.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. De Benedictis. Thank you, Mr. Peasy. And I'd like to thank everyone for being here with us tonight. When I was a little girl, my family and I spent summers in a town called Longport on the New Jersey shore. It is a place that holds very many priceless childhood memories for me. My mom, my brother, and I spent the entire week there, while my father only came down on the weekends. Every Friday night, we would sit down for dinner, and about 10 minutes into dinner, my dad would start a much dreaded tale that I feared that would happen every single week. He would tell me that when he was home during the week, one night he heard a knock on the door. He would say that he would get up out of bed and go downstairs to see who was at the door. He goes on to tell me that when he opened the door, there was a little girl standing outside, and she would say, "Mr. DeBona, I know that your daughter is away during the week, and I was wondering if I could be your little princess since she isn't here." As I heard those words, the tears would well up in my eyes, and I would look to my mom for reassurance that this really wasn't the case. Even though she would tell me it wasn't true, there was still a little piece of me that feared that it was. As the years went on and I heard this story less and less, I began to realize that surely this wasn't the case. I realized that even if there was a little girl who came to the door every week, there was no possible way that she could be his little princess. He just simply couldn't afford it if she was anything like me. As time went on, the story became just another one of my sacred memories of times with my father. I have come to realize that even though so much has changed in our lives and we get to see each other less and less now that I live at school, I will always be his little princess. No amount of time or distance could ever change that. Dad, I know I don't tell you this enough, and maybe it's just because I don't know how to show it, but I really appreciate all that you have done for me. You have opened up so many doors of opportunity for me, and most importantly, you have stood by me through everything I have done. Your love and support has brought me where I am now. You have taught me so much about who I want to become through your words and most importantly, your actions. You have taught me how to set and follow my goals, and just as importantly, you have showed me that it is okay when everything in life doesn't go as planned. You have consoled me through the times when I must take the road less taken and make a path for myself. And you have reassured me that it's okay if there are times when I don't succeed at everything, because as long as I try my best, even if I fall short, I still have succeeded. There is no way to thank you for all the sacrifices that you have made for me, and even more importantly, there is no way that I would be where I am now without you. You have given me hope and faith to uplift me for the rest of my life. Everything that I am now and will become in the future, I owe to you and Mom. I want to let you know that I love you so much, and no matter who comes into my life and where the road ahead leads, I will always be your little princess, and nothing will ever change that. I wanted to end with a quote that can put what you mean to me in words much better. For all those times you stood by me, for all the truth that you made me see, for all the joy you brought to my life, for all the wrong that you made right, for every dream you made come true, for all the love I found in you, I'll be forever thankful. You're the one who held me up and never let me fall. You're the one who saw me through it all. I love you, Daddy.
That's very nice.
Very cool. All right. Once again, I want to thank Mr. Peasy and Mr. De Benedictis and all of you for being here. I just want to say that I think my dad is terrific, especially when he's not telling me to brush my hair or go shave. He's taught me right from wrong, and he's also taught me what a sliced drive looks like. He's also taught me how to find the lost golf club. One day when I was about 13 years old, he took me golfing with a family friend. We were playing down the shore at Ocean City Municipal Golf Course. For those of you not familiar with Ocean City Municipal Golf Course, it's a 12-hole golf course surrounded by marsh. We get to the 10th hole, and I go to take my second shot with my pitching wedge. Right before this, I had put Skin So Soft all over me. I had it all over my hands. I go to take my shot, and there goes the club, about 20 yards deep into the marsh. Being the terrific guy he is, he went in there for about 20 minutes trying to find it. He succeeded in coming out with another club, which he said someone was smart enough to leave behind, and about 25 golf balls, quite a few having Blue Cross logos on them. He had played there a lot. Then there was the time that he took my friend Brian and me to the Army-Navy football game. He proceeded to take $5 from my friend Brian in small bets in the first half. I warned him not to bet with him, but he wouldn't listen. So not only has he taught me some valuable lessons, but my friends also. Don't bet against them when it comes to football. But on a more serious note, Dad, thank you for everything you have done for me. You've been an inspiration and a leader, and I love you very much. Thanks. I'll go. Stay right there. Tell him what's going up. I'll tell him.
Now, if we can have our honoree as the William Penn Award winner for 2001. Pretty good.
Thank you.
They did great.
Yep.
That was great. Good. We can come over here.
Here, I'll give you the award, and then we'll give you a speech. Fred, if I can present to you the William Penn Award, which signifies the strength of the business community and is the top business award in this Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce bestows. Congratulations. Well deserved.
Thank you all very, very much. I don't think in a career of 25 years I have been ever able not to speak. What just occurred was an absolute surprise to me, and I just can't tell you how much it meant to me, and I thank all of you who were involved in having Freddie and Christine up here, and it really meant so very, very much to me. Let me start by thanking Bob Reed and First Union for Bob's kind remarks earlier and also for the sponsorship of tonight's cocktail party. I'd also like to thank Charlie and Nick, not only for what they've done here tonight, not only for their kind words, but for what they do day in and day out for this Chamber of Commerce and for this business community. And all of us that have an opportunity to prosper owe them a great debt of gratitude. So Charlie and Nick, thank you very, very much. Walt, I don't know how you feel about Nick. I mean, that was a pretty good shot. But you know, Nick comes from a long line of humorous utility CEOs, so he's pretty good on his feet. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. You are all so wonderful for being here tonight. And I just can't thank each and every one of you. Thank you for supporting this dinner. Thank you for supporting this chamber. I had some words here to talk about my wife Sylvia, my partner for 25 years, and a woman who's been partner to many people in this room over that time on many, many occasions. And I'm very, very proud that she is here with us this evening. Thank you, Sylvia. And to Freddie and Christine, what can I say? In all my life, I've never been given a greater gift than what you gave me this evening. So I thank you very, very much from the bottom of my heart. And Christine, you will always be my princess. This is the 52nd time that the Greater Philadelphia Chamber of Commerce has presented this award. And the list of past recipients is awesome. And as I looked at that list, I saw past recipients who not only left their imprint on the city's life, but have also left a deep impression on mine. And I am so very, very grateful to many of them. People like Joe Ladd, who was introduced earlier, who was my first chairman at the Chamber and a real mentor for me. Joe, thank you for being here tonight. My close friend and a former chairman of the Chamber, Hal Sargente, who's been with me my entire career and has taught me so much. my indispensable right arm, and the business community's battle-tested Commander-in-Chief, Colonel Henry Reichner. Henry, thank you for everything. My partners in so many programs, like Bob Wilder, who was mentioned earlier, Spike Yo, Ron Rubin, Nelson Harris, and Bill Avery. It's been a joy to work with these people over the years for so many, many causes. My wise counselor and friend and the city's economic development guru, and apparently one of the great ticket scalpers of all time, Walt D'Alessio. Thank you, Walt. Among so many other business leaders, I also want to especially note a very close friend of mine and someone who's always been there for me, and also a former chairperson of the Chamber, Rosemarie Greco. Thank you, Rosemarie. Please. Now, those individuals and many more, and this organization, have a special and profound meaning for me, and I owe them so very, very much. I would not and could not be here tonight without this chamber, because this chamber is where my roots are. It was the chamber that gave me the opportunity to grow as a business leader, to establish clear goals and objectives, and to take on the obligation of expanding membership and beginning new initiatives. And it was those endeavors that my other guide and mentor, Sam Ross, noticed and then took a chance on me when he wanted to start Keystone Health Plan East from scratch. I will forever thank him for his confidence in me, but I know that his decision could only have been made because leading this organization gave me the credibility and the track record he needed to justify his faith. Finally, there is my board chairman at Blue Cross and mentor for a decade, Bob Young. He became chairman shortly after I became president, and he is my chairman today, 11 years later. To him, to the many members of our board, and all of our executive team present tonight, I say thank you. Thank you for your guidance, your counsel, and your support. Now, all of the people that I have mentioned and hundreds more, many in this room tonight, give testimony to the strength and vibrancy of a business community, one that provides the jobs, pays the taxes, and underpins the civic, community, and cultural life that gives our city that very special quality, which is perhaps unmatched in the nation anywhere. And that's one of the reasons I am constantly amazed when some people ask, where is the business community? Well, for me, it's easy to tell you where. You're on the boards, the committees, and the task forces moving this region forward. When you're called upon repeatedly to step up to the plate and use your own clout and the resources of your companies to solve public problems and promote the common good, you're there. When the schools needed help, the business community was there with personal commitment and financial support for better public schools and for the survival of parochial schools. When a convention center had to be built, you were there. In partnership with government and labor, you got the money and stayed involved until it was completed, and you continue to stay with it. When the United Way looks for leadership, it looks to corporate Philadelphia, and you step up to the plate. The business community is half the board of PIDC and half the board of the Convention Bureau. It's the Arts and Business Council and trustees of this region's hospitals and academic institutions. It's a watchdog on taxes and spending at the Pennsylvania Economy League, and it has changed the face of Market Street East and has created the Center City Special Services District. When port operations, stadiums, regional transportation, recreational facilities, neighborhood initiatives, cultural institutions, and new concert halls need attention. The business community, the business leadership pays attention. It is they who set the goals, develop the strategies, and get things done. So where is the business community? Well, the record speaks for itself, and it speaks loud and clear. And now, if our founder, William Penn, for whom this award is named, we're here tonight, there are some things that I would like to tell him. First, I would thank him for envisioning a city based upon the principles of tolerance, equality, and religious freedom. I would tell him that he is revered around the world for establishing principles of mutual respect that inspired our nation's founders with the spirit of democracy. It was his vision they captured in our Constitution and the Declaration of Independence right here in his green country town. I would tell him that he established the standard which enabled immigrant families to succeed in conditions that were not always easy. I would tell him, for example, that many generations after he sailed back to England, where he was jailed for his beliefs, another boat came the other way, carrying many immigrants, including my grandparents. Now, ladies and gentlemen, my grandfather wasn't a Quaker, but that wouldn't have mattered to William Penn. And although my grandfather never went to school and did not speak English, he quickly became a member of the CPA fraternity, cleaning, pressing, and alterations. And in the climate of our founder city, colored by the rough and tumble of South Philly, my grandfather survived and prospered. Then I would tell William Penn that a second generation came along and went even further in his city of brotherly love. Thanks to my CPA grandfather, his strong back and nimble fingers, his son, my father, went on to the University of Pennsylvania and its law school, becoming a prominent trial lawyer and judge in this great city. But even my father couldn't escape the egalitarianism instilled by Mr. Penn. In his early years, to subsidize his education, my father continued the CPA tradition of my grandfather. Both men basked in the glory of cleaning and pressing the famous double-breasted suits of one of William Penn's most noted successors, Mayor Richardson Dilworth. To them, that was the American dream. Little did they know, Mr. Penn, that a next generation in your city of opportunity, because of this Chamber of Commerce, would be given a chance to work with mayors, governors, and presidents. Mr. Penn, while I am here tonight receiving this award in your name, I share it with your memory and with the hard work, devotion, and determination of the people who helped build your Philadelphia and the people who helped my family build a good life in the city that you nurtured. You should know that just as you had many challenges in growing your city, we have many challenges in keeping it the way you would want it. A place of racial equality, ethnic diversity, social conscience, religious understanding, cultural enrichment, and economic opportunity for all. So what began as a noble experiment in the